God seeketh justice.
Wicked niggers.
Wicked niggas.
That call themselves Israelites.
They call themselves Israelites.
That call themselves Israelites. Now, he's talking about other people too, but the focal point is Akkad from Genesis and Hassad.
All these bootleg Israelites. Wa'anashim. Wa'haragium.
Anashim and Haragium is just, unalive them and punish them.
Ashim. Wa'ashim. Wa'anashim. Wa'mashapathium. Babakashah.
Judgment. Bring judgment on them. Babakashah is pleased.
Babakashah. Zayawam. Yamyan. Aita. Babakashah.
Please.
Hold them accountable for all the idle, wicked words that they spoke against men of the Lord.
Against great millstone. Because they have the 100% truth and they're the only men of the Lord. It's crazy because the only time I go back and forth with you guys is doctrine. That's it. No lies, no slander. No lies, no slander. No lies, no slander. Do we need GMS? Even though they teach that it's okay, or let me make sure I'm not slandering. Even though they teach that it's lawful for a grown-ass man to take a little girl after she hits puberty. Lawful for a grown-ass man to take a little girl after she hits puberty. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I'm very fiery in the spirit, and I'm definitely with all the stuff. And what I mean by that is, like, we want to protect ourselves, protect our family, and if we have to take it there, we have to. I'm definitely with all the stuff. And what I mean by that is, like, we want to protect ourselves, protect our family, and if we have to take it there, we have to.
Well, you disappeared on the block in downtown Seattle where a nigga emptied the clip on me because I intervened in a situation that got physical that you were just in. He's talking about him sitting there when two men are having a conversation. A nigga literally tried to kill me, and you vanished. Don't nobody know where you went when that happened. And you vanished. Don't nobody know where you went when that happened.
That's it, guy! I'll call you later! Page me!
And you vanished. Don't nobody know where you went when that happened. And you vanished. Don't nobody know where you went when that happened.
There's nobody in Deacon's life who he hasn't backstabbed and fell out with. Not one person. His own brother, his own best friends, the people he grew up with. There's nobody he hasn't done it to. He just waited the longest to do it to.
Yeah, make sure.
When no other Israelites wanted him, I was the only one that took him in. The only one. Right? I'm talking about nobody wanted to deal with that man. I was the only one that said, yeah, he might have messed up and did something wrong, but hey, I ain't giving up on that brother. And that was 13 years ago. Right? So for him to even think in his mind, after all the things that he did, he created a business for himself called Sakari Varsity, would call me to get my understanding and breakdowns and charge people. He never chipped in a dime. I never saw a dime of that. He's been in Sakari all those years. It's been 7-8 years of him being in Sakari without contributing a solitary cent to the actual mission and organization. Right? And I never said a word to it. It's good. That's my dude. It ain't even no big deal. Right? But for him to stab me in the back, but I'm stupid. Because the scriptures say, who shall pity a snake charmer when he's bit by a snake? I done seen and heard about him snake everybody else out in his whole life. I was an idiot to think I was going to be the nigga he wasn't going to do it.
Deacon used to be a pimp at one time, yes?
Yeah, that's how he got his money, from pimping.
He came into it. Okay, yeah, he used to be a pimp. I'm not condemning him now because he changed his life. But I'm just saying, it's that part of the history.
You got to understand, me, it's like this. I came up selling drugs. He came up pimping, right? So that affects our business mentality. So with me, even in the truth, I know I got to put out that good work. I got to put out that potent product if I want, you know, the people to keep coming back. So I always, you know, utilize that mentality on, okay, I got to put out the best, you know, edification for the people. Now him, because he come from that pimp mindset, he ain't doing nothing but pimping the people.
I've been sliding these strippers' DMs, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been sliding these strippers' DMs, and I've been telling them, I've been sliding these strippers' DMs, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been sliding these strippers' DMs, and I've been telling them, repent from shaking that ass and come back. Repent from shaking that ass and come back. I've been sliding these strippers' DMs, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been sliding these strippers' DMs, and I've been telling them, shaking that ass, shaking that ass. I've been sliding these strippers' DMs, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been sliding these strippers' DMs, and no longer shaking that ass. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been sliding these strippers' DMs, and no longer shaking that ass. Shaking that ass, shaking that ass.
In 2012, Deacon got kicked out of damn near every GMS camp on the West Coast. I'm the only one that took him in.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you other elders, you brethren, you fellow believers of the truth. Shalom to you brothers and sisters of the faith. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Peace to the elect. So anyway, I want to go on this video real quick. I'll try to make it quick. I am going to go into some old biblical translations. I also am going to go into some AI. And I really don't believe that some of these guys that follow this man, that they just have that much hatred for GMS, but they may. But we have converted some, right? There's a few men already that was with this group have came to my channel and literally said that they are done with this guy and they see that GMS has the truth. They may not say the 100% truth, but they say GMS has the truth. That's a good start. So I want to address some comments. You know, and first off, what we must understand, a man that hasn't really let go of the world brings the world into the truth. Now, all of us bring a little bit in the truth when we come in, and you're supposed to let it go, but some of us don't know. This is why the scripture says, restore a man when he's overtaken in a fault, and it's because of his ignorance. He didn't know any better. So once you're in the truth all these years, and you can see Al-Azhar, formerly of the head of Sakari, he's broken away from that mindset of we be buddies and call each other on the phone and so forth. And what these guys did is abandon their leader when they found out the scandal came out, right? And that might be an easy thing to do, but instead of standing and trying to uplift him, they only care about their reputation. They are very selfish people. This man, not Bishop Nathaniel, him too, they're selfish. But this man, Deacon, Priest Hakar, is very selfish. And he has a pimp mentality. He's got infomercials. He's selling everything not nailed down. And then I also noticed this brother Hassad, he's never there when these controversial videos go down. So I guess he's, the priest is the henchman. But I believe this brother Hassad is under a serious spell. But hey, that's what it is. He can't come up under the spell. He's going to follow him, and he's going to the blind lead the blind. They shall fall in the ditch. But anyway, I want to touch on this video where brothers on my channel was getting on this guy, but there's a comment. Yashar Ban Payam. Yashar Ban Payam is his name, right? This is his channel here. He's got one video. And this is how you know the fruit of the works. This is this man's channel. This is all he has. A picture of him with shirt fringes on a bike. That's it. Now, GMS fruit isn't like that. You will see, even if they're not out, if they're just prophets or adding, they will have a lot of likes. They'll have a lot of things on their channel trying to show certain things, right? But anyway, what I want to do is I want to go to the channel, my channel, and read the comment. It says here, I see you played Priest Hakar video when he said that he's been sliding in strippers' DMs, but I see also, number one, let me say this. There was quite a few more comments, and after I made some interactions with the comments, they pulled them down, right? So I don't know where the comments is. I was going to address some of them, but I addressed it on the comment board, and they took it down. One of them said that we all Torah keepers, so we all brothers. So, I mean, Matthew 23 kills all that. So anyway, he said, you didn't finish, and I can hear the priest saying that he's telling the strippers to come back to the Most High. Of all places, the strippers' DMs and the strip clubs. Yeah, quite fitting for a pimp, wouldn't you say? Right? Anyway, again, I've also heard about GMS doctrine, and you believe that once a young girl has their period, you can marry them, and that's sick. You got girls having their periods. Let me go on. What else did they say? At the age of 9, GMS is really off and sick to think. See, now this man is telling something totally different what this man priest is saying. Well, let me keep reading and make sure he's on point with what he's saying. It says, you guys are really sick to think that it's cool. Now, we never said that it's cool now to have young women at 12 years old and have sex. I don't know where that comes from. We saying this happened in the ancient times. They always leave that out. And this man, the reason why I'm addressing this guy, because the priest, the pimp and slickster that he is, he only played the Apostle Tahar when they was having a discussion about a scenario, right? That's all it was. And what's his name? Serenetta cut and chopped, everything else. He didn't show the parts where it said, well, this would have happened in the ancient times. But anyway, and I know that because a brother from IHBK pulled up and asked GMS about the doctrine, and GMS said, yes, once she has a period, she can be married off. Yes, that's absolutely true. The brother in GMS wasn't wrong. Y'all worrying about Priest Hakar and Brother Hassad, but can't come to the realization that GMS has a sick doctrine about talking about young girls. And no, they're not a young girl once they become ladies. They're young women. Not cool at all. So we find that these people that come against us, and this is why we reach out to these guys in some degree, either you get it or you don't. But he deflected from what the whole video was talking about. I did put that clip in there. But the whole video was talking about GMS black Israelites that put curses and up prayers on a guy like this. And I did put the clip in there so that gives him a reason to speak on it. But why not talk about the whole thing? The whole point of the matter I was speaking according to the video. If you didn't see it, then you can go see it. But we're going to address that real quick. This brother, Tazapanya Yamyan, he said the truth isn't about being cool. It's about pushing the truth. Shaking my head. Proverbs 28:5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they seek the Lord, understand all things. So do you agree that when a girl has a period, she is aged to be married and to have kids? Now what happens? If the girl is 9 years old, would you accept that you can marry her, right, and have kids with her? Because if you do, you, my brother, are like the sick GMS doctrine. So we're just going to touch on that. I think I put everything else about this pimp and his mindset and how he's pimping everybody, even in the truth. This man is all selfish. All he cares about is himself. And he will lie and slander any group and do anything to get the attention for the people so he can make more money. He doesn't really give a damn about what we teach. He only cares about the hustle of stirring up you people to be guiled into believing that we are sick and this is what we teach. All right. So let's go on. Let's go to Proverbs 8:4 to address the man first opinion about sliding in the DMs to get strippers. Right. At the end of the day, the Lord is going to give Isaiah 4:1. Did he not read that scripture? All these women are going to come to one man. Seven women shall take hold of one man. It's not hard to do that. Women are the weaker vessel. It don't take much for them to wake up. And what I mean by waking up, it doesn't take much for them to be attracted to a man and follow men. This man got 3 wives, right? I'm talking about the pimp priest. Anyway, it says, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice to the sons of man. So we see the Lord is calling the men. Wake up the men, and then the women will come, if that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying? Why are you guys out thirsty for these damn women? Thirsty. Because what does a man want? He wants money and women. And this is the perfect storm, or let me say perfect paradise for a man like this. Money and women. That's all pimps want. It's easy. Okay. Enough of that. Let me go to Deuteronomy 22 and 28. And this is talking about, to get more context on this, we're going to have to go up a little bit further in Deuteronomy 22. So I'm going to try to make this quick. Deuteronomy 22, and then we're going to go to some old translations and everything else. Deuteronomy 22, and let's start at 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel, means she's engaged in the field, and the man force her, this is why it says force her, and lie with her, then the man only that lie with her shall die. Because, unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is no damsel, no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor, this was what it was all about. This had nothing technically to do with the woman. When you read this, it has something to do with the woman, but mainly it was because this woman belonged to somebody, right? So a man rise against his neighbor and slayeth him, and even so in this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. So now in a feminist Western cultural society, women have a voice. This is why women were crying for voices, right? Women needed to be heard. Women had a voice. Women wanted to be heard and known and seen. This wasn't happening back then. This is why this really had nothing so much to do with the damsel except for what happened to his neighbor, his own brother. He took his own brother's possession, right? And that's how women were looked at. So we go down to 28 verse. But if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. So now when you go to this word lay hold, it means to grab and to seize. Maybe I got to pull this up real quick in the lexicon. Seizes her, right? Lay hold. It says to seize, and we should know what seize means: to capture, to lay hold, to wield, right? You people don't look up anything, and you're all emotional. You got to cut that Western culture mindset out, right? Described as seizing, grasping, or taking people and objects. Yeah, this is not no courting right here, man. So like if somebody took a woman now and she had a father in this day and age, if it was righteous, and he took her and lay with her, he would have to pay the father, the damsel's father, 50 shekels of silver. Because what good would it do if he humbles this woman and now he's got to be put to death? Now you have to remarry this woman. So now what's supposed to happen with this woman? She's ruined. But these guys don't see this. This is why Gorilla Hebrew is going through what he's going through, because of women ruin women and us, you know? So, anyway, let's go back. Let's go back here. Let's go to some other translations, right? Since you people don't read anything. It says Caesar. You know the KJV is one of the only ones that say lay hold. We're going to give you some examples. Caesar's. Here we go to Christian Standard Bible. If a man encounters a young woman, a virgin who is not engaged, and takes hold on her and rapes her, and they be discovered. Right? Rapes her. This is what it says. If a man find a damsel of virgin is not betrothed and lay hold. Okay, that one says lay hold. Here's another one that says forces her, which it shouldn't say forces her. The reason why Deuteronomy 20, 22, and 26, it said force her because she didn't belong. I mean, she belonged to someone else. So now it was a force. And it was really forcing her, but it was her husband. She was twain to the flesh of that other man, or to be twain to him, right? Lay hold, engaged. Here we go. This is what you must do if a man rapes a virgin who isn't engaged. When the crime is discovered, then he must give the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. Suppose a man caught raping a young woman who is not engaged. So we keep seeing this through all these translations that say rape, rape, rape. Not the rape you see today. The reason why they call it rape today. Well, yeah, even if you have your own woman and you lay down and you take her, right, and it's your wife, and she say no, then that's still considered rape, and you're charged 20 years, 30 years. In this society, giving women liberty is exactly what destroyed this society, period. Take a look. How's it working out? So we're going to go to some other Bible verses. Books. Bible of 1539. It says here, the man that findeth a damsel, if a man find a maiden that is not betrothed, and take her, right? Take her. Let's go to another Bible version, the Bible of 1560, the Geneva Bible. It says here, if a man find a betrothed, a not betrothed, and take her again. We're going to go here to the Wycliffe, 1382. It says here, if a man findeth a damsel virgin that is no spouse, and taketh, and doeth lechery with her, the thing come to doom, he shall basically get a father 50 shekels of silver. So we're going to look at lechery. It's spelled Old English. I don't know how it's going to pull up. There's nothing to pull up on it. So let's go to lechery, spelled different. See, the problem is, even in translations, as they translate it, people translate it to the way they think it should be to be more understandable. But doing that, you bring more confusion, and then you can institute your own way of thinking to make people think a certain way. You see what I'm saying? So when it said rape her, it said lechery. The other translations in these cases understood what it meant. So this word is lechery. It says lewdness, habitual lustful indulgence, gluttony, sensuality, lewdness, right? Debauched man. It says, that's pretty much it. Basically, it goes a crime of sexual intercourse between near kindred, which goes to incest. They bring that off of that. But lechery just basically means physically of lustful sex. That's what lechery truly means. I'm not going to spend another 10 minutes going into that. But if it is a crime and it does happen, then guess what? What can you do? Now you have to pay that damsel's father, or you in trouble. Now, also, we want to go into what I want to read is Genesis 26. But first, we're going to read a little commentary. It says in Genesis 22, Isaac marriage. Let me go here. Yeah. Isaac marriage. Let me go back real quick. 25 and 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife. I just wanted to say that. That's all needs to be said. We know Isaac was 40. But when the scholars did the breakdown, and when you really truly understand it, it says, however, including medieval commentators and modern readers suggest that she was young, perhaps as 10 to 14 years old, given her capable actions drawn from the water of Genesis 24, which a toddler couldn't perform, right? So the tradition of the Israelites was technically 12 years old on up, 12, 13, 14 years old. So even if a woman had a period at 9, traditionally she still wouldn't have be able to get married, because they knew on the average what the age was. In fact, you become an adult. When you look at the story of Midian, when Moses told the Israelites to go to Midianites and take all the young girls and all the stuff for yourself. And some Christians say, well, how could that be if they didn't have sex? Well, it was traditional pretty much in most cultures at that time, because everybody knew better, just like the animal world knows better, that if a young girl was 8 years old, you wouldn't have sex with her. Why? Because she couldn't procreate. This is why you got what you call a monthly, which means come from moon. How do you know when a woman becomes a woman? Is it because of 18 years old? Right? Where did that come from? And since America lied about everything else, you're going to tell me they're going to tell the truth about that? That's another video. I'm not even going to get into it. If you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. So this is more AI, ancient Israel. Claude AI kind of tells a lot of the truth. That's where I go at. In ancient Israel, girls typically marry around 12 to 13, shortly after puberty, while boys usually marry between 15 and 20. Right? And they got a problem with us talking about GMS. They like harlots and, such and such. And, you can have prostitutes. But this man sliding in DMs trying to convert strippers. You can't make this stuff up, man. And these young boys, they had brothels back then. And these young boys would have to know how to humble these women. And only a woman can show you how to humble those women. You can say what you say, but women, if they would go in those brothels, right, they would be taught how to humble the women. And maybe that's why a lot of Jake is all messed up today, right? That's just going a little bit under the radar. But anyway, under Jewish law, the age of puberty was held to begin at 13 for males and 12 for females. And minors below these ages were precluded for contracting marriages. However, fathers could give, this is when you read all of Deuteronomy 22. However, fathers could give daughters who were minors in marriage, and such marriages was considered valid. Right? This is why they say in this society, you can't mess with a younger woman because her brain isn't developed. Well, that's the whole point of growing together. So again, we don't teach to mess with 12, 13-year-old girls. They don't have the mindset for that anyway. The Romans 13 tells you follows the laws of the land. They are ordained by the Heavenly Father. So no, we can't do that. We don't teach that. So your argument isn't what we teach in a manner of now. The argument is what happened in the ancient time, and you guys aren't making a separation. You're making it seem like when we teach this, you're saying now we can go into young women and do all these things. And this is madness, and this is why this pimp has, convinced you and destroyed your mind, and the believing that corrupted your mind. According to the Jewish tradition, boys could marry to make religious vows at 14 years old. Remember they had bas mitzvahs, right? A girl at 12 years old, both requiring parental permission under the age of 21. No wonder by the time you age of 35, women they have complicated pregnancies. You mean to tell me from the age of 18 to 35, that's the only time as human beings, as females, that you are able to give birth? I mean, did the Lord make a mistake when a woman had her period at 14? So the whole time she had to wait till 18 to marry and she's in heat? You Negroes just don't make any sense.